His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda is going to inspect parade.
This day is commemorated in appreciation of the contribution of workers to national development and to heighten national and international consciousness on the importance of promoting and protecting the rights of workers. The day is also used as an occasion to reflect on achievements, challenges, and opportunities in the world. Today's theme, mitigating the impact of COVID-19, enhancing productive employment for improved livelihoods through the parish development model. The choice of this theme is strategic in rallying different stakeholders to appreciate the relevancy of the parish development model in enhancing productive employment as the country pursues its recovery efforts. The concept note has been prepared to provide the rationale of this theme, to highlight key activities and events before and during the commemoration of the International Labor Day, 1st May 2022. For the last 3 decades, the government of Uganda has made significant strides in improving the living standards of the citizens. Since 1986, Uganda has risen from a peasant-dominated economy shattered by years of civil war, political instability, a failing industrial sector, and economic mismanagement to a vibrant and thriving economy. Its GDP has grown by tenfold to 147.9 trillion Uganda shillings from the 14.4 trillion Uganda shillings in 1986. Uganda's average GDP growth rate has been 66.5% over the last 10 years pre-pandemic.
Distinguished guests, the pillar of the theme of today is the parish development model. The parish development model comes in response to the challenge of having 39% of the households just under subsistence life. The parish model has 7 pillars, namely production, storage, processing, and marketing, infrastructure, and economic services, financial inclusion, social service, mindset change, and the parish-based management information system, which will help governance and administration of the economic transformation of this country. As you know, we still remain with our vision of socio-economic transformation of this country into a modern society. And by economically activating the 39% of the households through the parish development model, the country is expected to create millions of jobs, especially in the rural areas. This job creation model will enable the government achieve its vision of transforming Uganda from a peasant to modern, industrial, and prosperous society by 2040. At this juncture, let me invite my colleague from workers area.
Where do you stop?
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to recognize the following who have come to bless the occasion. We have the Chairman General, National Organization of Trade Unions, Brother Owere Asha Wilson is here with us. And we have his counterpart, the Chairman General, Koftu, Brother Okecho John Sieri is here with us. We have the Secretary General Notu, Brother Honorable Peter Werike. He's here with us. And he, at the same time, represents Buburo as a member of Parliament in the 11th Parliament. Brother Werike, you are welcome. We have Brother Mbabas Joseph from the Koft Center as a National Treasurer. Brother Mwamra Juma, General Secretary, Uganda Private Teachers Union, also a board member of NOTU. We have Brother Mauku Modest, General Secretary, Uganda Hotels Tourism Sector Union. You are welcome. Brother John Oplong, General Secretary, Uganda Media Union. We have Brother Peter Bendo Eri, General Secretary, Uganda Textile, Leather and Allied Workers Union. We have Brother Benon Baguma, General Secretary, Uganda Government Workers Union. We have Brother Erima Jackson, General Secretary, Uganda Liberal Teachers Union. We have Brother Keno Robert, General Secretary, Uganda Science, Research and Allied Workers Union. Brother Kaganizo Mutesasira, National Chairperson, Uganda Liberal Teachers Union. Brother Daniel Mubiru, representing the General Secretary, Uganda Markets and Allied Workers Union. Sister Mugambwa Harriet, a member and panelist of Industrial Court. And we also have Sister Navidye Susan, who is also a panelist in Industrial Court. Sister Namuiga Ruth, representing National Chairperson, Markets Union. We have Sister Charisima Judith, General Secretary, Uganda Nurses Union. We have Brother Manasseh Bambale, Workers Councillor, Kasanda District. We have Sister Nankunda Annette, Executive Board Member, Uganda Markets Union. Also with us, we have ILO office based in Kampala, Mr. Opio Stephen. Mr. Opio Stephen, the officer in charge of ILO Kampala office.
His Excellency has concluded inspection of the parade and the band. I request that we rise to receive His Excellency as he takes his seat, and we proceed with the rest of the program. Your Excellencies. I request that we put our hands together to officially welcome our President. Thank you very much. We can resume our seats. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, once again you are welcome to Ceremonial Grounds, Kororo, celebrate the International Labor Day. Your Excellency, without much ado, permit me to invite the religious leaders to invite God to be part of this occasion. Religious leaders.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Your Excellency, the President of Uganda, the Vice President, the Prime Minister, Chief Justice, protocol observes, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name, Sheikh Hamid Sirwadda Chewalyanga Busungu, Regional Council of Kampala, here representing His Eminence, the Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaje, who have not been able to be present due to religious engagement. Your Excellency, we pray that you accept his apology. Your Excellency, it gives me a lot of pleasure to be here attending the International Labor Day celebration. I'm equally delighted to congratulate the workers on their day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Mulk 67:15 says that it is He who made the earth manageable for us, so we walk through it and enjoy its sustenance, which He gives us, but knowing that into Him is the resurrection. In that verse, Allah emphasized the importance of working to the extent that one should eat only that he has worked for. Allah goes further to show us the significance of working. In Surah Al-Jumu'ah 67:15 says that when the prayer is finished, then you may disperse through the world or the land and seek the bounty of Allah and celebrate the praises of Allah so that you may prosper. Also the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam in one hadith tells us, Prophet Dawood alayhi salam, and from his enterprises, meaning that he was a worker. Also Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam appealed to us to always work and avoid begging. The above revelation clearly shows that so that Allah cherishes work. Your Excellency, it is important that the workforce, which nationally is exhibiting valuable standard of performance, is appreciated, as it is a core principle to national development and prosperity. This day, Your Excellency reminds us all workers realize the development, experience work challenges, and become a basis to plan for new innovation to gap such challenges. Your Excellency, it is a national call to the workers and employers to enforce standard moral practices at the employment stations to enforce national growth. Your Excellency, it is critically vital to thank you as the President of the Republic of Uganda for your steady improvement on the salary remuneration of the government workers, although it needs some improvement. It is a national religious concern, Your Excellency, to remind all employers to provide equitable standards treatment to employ workers for social justice of labor, peace, unity, and work, and further to desist from discrimination of employment, sexual harassment in employment of children or children trafficking, unfair suspension and unfair termination, corruption in all forms. Your Excellency, the eminent Mufti of Uganda is humbled to thank you once again for the privileged conducive environment that has enabled the ongoing development in terms of infrastructure, technological innovation, economic, social security, education enhancement, and so on. Your Excellency, lastly, I request you and all the gathering to join me to raise our hands to the Almighty Allah, seek for absolute moral solution to crisis of corruption, greed, exploitation, and above all, investment in education process that give attention to the development both the intellectual and spiritual power in human being, inshallah. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب إلينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. I wish all the workers prosperous celebration, and also I wish all the Muslim community and the nation at large prosperous Eid al-Fitr. تقبل الله منا ومنكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you so much. Let me request that we put our hands together for the Sheikh Serwada for the wonderful prayer he has given. Your Excellency, it's now time for march past in slow and quick time. Parade Commander.
Your Excellency, sir, the parade will be led by Parade Commander Kano A. Ekolot, the Parade YC, Lieutenant Kano M. Opel, Parade Adjutant Major H.B. Kaganda, Parade RCM Captain J. Kamanyoza, and Parade Admin Warrant Officer 1 Msoboka.
Distinguished guests, we are reminded to stand up when the color are approaching the saluting base. Thank you very much, Parade Commander. Can we put our hands together for the parade? Thank you. Your Excellency, Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development has packaged the theme for today in a song to be presented by Winterland Primary School. May I invite Winterland Primary School to make that presentation. Meanwhile, they are coming. I request the Co-Assistant Director of Ceremonies, Claire, Senior Superintendent of Police, to be making recognitions. Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, sir, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, we would like to appreciate you celebrating International Day with us. And today we have the following persons who are celebrating with us. Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, His Lordship, the Chief Justice, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Prime Minister, Right Honorable First Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Cabinet Ministers present, Honorable Members of Parliament present, religious leaders, cultural leaders, permanent secretaries. In addition, sir, allow me recognize the diplomatic corps. We have the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, the Ambassador of Eritrea, the High Commissioner of South Africa, Ambassador of Libya, Ambassador of Japan, Ambassador of Algeria, High Commissioner of Rwanda, the UN Resident Coordinator, the Charge d'Affaires of Equatorial Guinea, the Charge d'Affaires of the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Embassy of Turkey, Charge d'Affaires of Kenya, Ambassador of Cuba, the Honorary Council of Australia, and the UN Women Country Representative. You are most welcome.
But some people annoy me. Instead of working for the prosperity of their country, they are just seated, waiting for the government to give them. Government ekuyambe. Akwana wegowa. Government ekuyambe. Na ego jambi ocha. Some people have made COVID-19 and please, anti-human is a legal structure. Let us start the table by standing up again. Kubanga, echigo echini, techobera mwana tanda. We should start up small-scale businesses, slowly by slowly. We shall reach the economic peak by embracing all government programs through parish development movement. The government has come back on the ground to start up a foundation for the economy. justice.
Can we put our hands together for these young workers? Thank you very much. The message is crystal clear. The theme is about the parish model, and work is a combination of knowledge, attitude, and skills, clearly demonstrated. Your Excellency, permission to go to the next segment of speeches, and at this juncture, I wish to invite Mr. Filbert Baguma, the Secretary General of the Teachers Union, to usher in the next two speakers, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, first of all, we thank you very much for honoring this International Labor Day celebrations as a chief worker. Your Excellency, the workers here in this country are organized under two national centers. We have NOTU and we have COFTU. And all the leaders are here, and allow me to introduce the leaders of the two centers. NOTU National Chairman, Mr. Asha Owere Wilson, is here with us. And he has come with the Secretary General of NOTU, Brother Honorable Peter Werike, who is at the same time the Member of Parliament for Buburo in the 11th Parliament. We have the Chairman General for COFTU, Brother Okecho, is here with us, Seil, representing COFTU Center. We also have the employers. The employers are here with us, celebrating the International Labor Day, and they are led by the chairperson of the Federation of Uganda Employers, and this is none other than Engineer Dr. Silva Mujisha. He's here with us. And he has come with a team. The Vice Chairperson, Madam Annette Nakaunde Murindwa, is also here with us. They have also come with the Executive Director, Mr. Douglas Opio, and the Governing Council member, who is also the Managing Director, National Social Security Fund, Mr. Richard Byarugaba, is also here with us. Your Excellency, we also have the Industrial Court here with us, and we have the Chief Judge, Honorable Ruhinda Asaf Ntenje, here with us. We also have the Judge of the Industrial Court, Honorable Linda Lilian Tumusime. And Your Excellency, here with us, we also have panelists of the Industrial Court. Among the workers, Your Excellency, we have two members of the Central Executive Committee of NRM, and that is Brother Tweheyo James, who is the National Chairperson, Workers League, and at the same time, a member of SEC. We also have Sister and Honorable Lydia Wanyoto, who is the National Women Leader in NRM, but also she is a trustee of Uganda Scientist Research and Allied Workers Union and a member of SEC. We also have the ILO office, Kampala. We have Mr. Opio Stephen, who is the officer in charge of Kampala office. We also have Ms. Jackie Banya, who is the National Program Coordinator, also focal point person for ILO constituencies in Uganda. She is here with us. We have employers in different categories, and we have the employees who are represented by the general secretaries of different unions in this country. Here with us, we have 46 general secretaries representing the labor unions in this country. Your Excellency, allow me to invite the first presenter, and this is none other than Mr. Brother Owere Asha Wilson, to come and give the views of the workers. Brother Owere, you are welcome. And as he comes, as I had already mentioned, we have general secretaries here with us. We have Brother Mbabas Joseph. We have Brother Mwamra Juma. We have Brother Mauku Modes, Brother Oprong John, Brother Pito Bendo Ali, Brother Benon Baguma. We have Brother Erima Jackson. They are here with us.
Thank you very much, Brother Baguma, the General Secretary of Uganda Teachers Union, and our MC today. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. First of all, I'm going to go through the protocol. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency, His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni, I understand the Vice President is not here. She's around. 1,000 apologies. Your Excellency, the Vice President, the Right Honorable, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Your Lordship, the Chief Justice, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Ministers present, Members of Parliament, religious leaders present, leaders of Federation of Uganda Employers, my fellow leaders of NOTU and COFTU, and other dignified workers, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, before I speak, may I request my counterpart of COFTU to come and stand behind me. Your Excellency, the President, my speech today is a very modified speech. It is a speech of action. It's no longer lamentation, but it's a speech that is going to help me, the country, and you to implement issues that are affecting workers. But before I start, Your Excellency, let me first, I wish to begin by special thanks to you, Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Uganda, for the following reasons. As a leader, you have championed peace not only in Uganda, but across borders. And this has given a chance. Your Excellency, allow me to remove this mask because my voice is not coming out properly, since I'm very far from others. This has given Uganda a chance to explore potential in the areas of trade and offering labor services to the neighboring countries which are peaceful. Your Excellency, live example is Southern Sudan, Somalia, and Congo. There are many Ugandans working in these countries because of peace and your initiative. Recently, Your Excellency, you put your signature on NSS Amendment Bill, which turned into law. Your Excellency, I can tell you with a smile on my face, this is a great gift you gave to the workers. After being ravaged by COVID-19, workers are now getting their money and life is becoming smoother. There are just few things which we are trying to work out with the Attorney General and the Minister of Gender. There was a rider which was put there that to access this money you must have contributed 120 days, which was not in our dream. So this one we are handling it. All these leaders, the Attorney General, the Minister of Gender, and even the Deputy Speaker who are talking this morning, we have agreed we are going to sort out that. And your dream will come true, and this is a legacy that the workers of Uganda now regard you as a friend, and you now value the workers. And I want to thank you so much, Your Excellency. I'm also happy to inform you that most of the people who are taking this money are investing in small businesses, which means very soon we shall have an economy with the increasing number of Ugandan investors, which will, in a long run, lead to a lot of returns to our country. The people who are telling you that this was going to affect the economy, we want to actually, and I want to thank you so much. Can you Ugandans clap for His Excellency the President? Because you took a bold decision. I remember when you raised your hand in front of us in State House and said, this will not make Uganda collapse. Go and implement. Your Excellency, the workers of Uganda have sent me to thank you so much. However, there is a small challenge with midterm access benefit, which I have explained, that we want to correct it. When you have clocked 45 years, you have saved for 10 years, you get your 20%. This rider which was put there, that Manya, you have 120 contribution, we are going to now and avoid it. Your Excellency, I just want to run straight to issue of creating jobs, because between me and you, we have understood each other. And today, I've come with I've identified the people who can help this country to create more jobs. As NOTU, we support the rapid industrialization of Uganda The private sector should lead the industrialization of Uganda because private sector is more result-oriented, and hence, when the government supports the private sector, it gets more value for money. Seeing and believing, recently, Your Excellency, I visited one of the factories by a Ugandan, indigenous Ugandan, metal buses industry. They are in Namalve. Metal is a dynamic, decisive, a man of action, result-oriented. He has fabricated buses for Uganda prisons services, national medical stores, Uganda Virus Institute, mentioned but few. In metal, I can see the future of Uganda. Me as a workers' leader, I'm proud and I associate myself with the metal bus industry because this is a Ugandan and we must request Minister of Finance to buy buses from him. If they can buy about 200 buses, this can create about 5,000 jobs, Your Excellency. We are now thinking of other people. We are giving investors land, money, and so on. But people we have identified like this man, I strongly stand with him. And Your Excellency, I want us to support our own so that we create more jobs. Instruct the government in ministries and departments. This will help Metu. If they can buy buses from this gentleman, we hope to create 5,000 jobs in Uganda. I understand they have even signed some agreement with the KCCA and so on. We need to identify such people, Ugandans, indigenous investors, who can create our own jobs. Buy buses from Metu. If this is supported, it has potential to create about 5,000, even more. Ugandan, we need to look far. Metu is the Elon Musk of Uganda. Let us support him, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, on the issue of industrials, we the workers we would like to see, as workers, we are so happy for the promises that you have been giving to the workers. But there's something which, after this speech, I would like your 3 minutes with you, because I don't want to mention it here. Today is my day. So I don't want your protocol people to tell me that, no, you are busy. Give us this day. I only ask for 5 minutes. And I want to tell you what we can help both of us to develop this country. Your Excellency, I'm happy to inform you that not now we have a home. As I talk to you, we have a home. And I want to thank you because your advice, your contribution, your ideas has made us now move in that direction. And I want you leaders to clap for him. I want also to thank you for the money for the circle, for the teachers. That is UNATRU. They are now doing well. They are lending to themselves. You remember our several meetings with you in Nakasero, in Tebe State House, and so on. Now, their circle has really built. And if you go in other areas and do the same, this country will not remain the same. Your Excellency, I also want to thank you for giving the nurses the land. You have given them the land. They are now utilizing it very well. And I want to thank them. They are now even building a university on it with the issue of PP. I saw some people in the media trying to connect it with the Mulago issue and so on. Please, media people, leave the workers alone. That land was given by the president. The nurses are now building a university, and that university is now doing a lot. So we don't want you to mix us up in the Mulago issue. Your Excellency, I have a petition to me by the science teachers. But when I sat with them, I diagnosed the papers, I realized that you promised them, the money was put in the budget. So this one, I'm not requesting anybody, because a presidential directive must be what? Must be implemented. So I'm asking Minister of Finance, Minister of Education, Prime Minister's office, sit and sort out this. Why are you disturbing our Mzee on something that he has pronounced himself? So it's not a request. Maybe what I will request from Your Excellency, I had requested Mama to have a meeting with these teachers so that they can explain other issues, but the issue of money and so on. But since you have given the science people and it is in the budget, I also request you don't forget the arts people, because they are the ones actually who are very close to you. I know that one we may, but that is after. Because me and you, we normally talk. And this is the only way I can dialogue with you. These are majority. You know why I'm saying that, Your Excellency? You find an officer at the low rank is now getting 3 million, 7, 10. Now the supervisor is getting 500. That wouldn't be a problem. But we want harmonization so that we have harmony at workplace. Your Excellency, there's the issue of minimum wage. Minimum wage, I remember we sat with you, we agreed on something, and the Minister of Gender started moving. But when we saw them moving slowly, we went ahead of them. And our good member of parliament presented the private members bill, which was passed by 10th parliament. It was brought to you. You didn't sign it. You returned it to parliament. Now me, I'm not coming back to you. I'm asking parliament, since the speaker is here, Honorable Speaker, where is the bill which was returned to you? Where is that bill? Because the president pronounced himself, we want you also to pronounce what? Yourself on this issue. And Minister of Gender, you said, your predecessor said, there's adequate law. Where is that adequate law? Where is that adequate law? So these are areas that we want to correct. For me, today I'm not here to give you theories, no. Mine is practical, and first I do research where things have gone wrong. Your Excellency, the education system must be cynic with market. Your Excellency, you have made very huge investment in education, and now has a good problem, unemployed and educated youths. First of all, I want to thank General Salim Saleh. I'm a board member at the National Cultural Center. But recently, General Salim Saleh opened my mind. There's a huge potential in culture, in music, art, and so on. We tried it when we had several meetings in Igulu. When we came out, we started implementing that. But it needs your support, because this is an area where many youths can create employment. Like what the children were singing here, kuyiya. They can kuyiya songs, they can do arts and so on. What we only need is, since you have expanded market for them, we can now go to Congo, we can go to Sudan, we can go to any other area. So Your Excellency, support that area. Your Excellency, the Chinese have demonstrated to us here in Uganda that one does not need to know English to operate construction machine. Many of the Chinese do not speak English, but they come here, construct our roads, can be exemplary way of helping many of our young people who either drop out of school and join labor market with relevant market skills, but also support those who are completing school without work. Your Excellency, let us promote local talents. And when everybody will appreciate that we have heavily invested in human capital development, there's a school in each sub-county in the country. You have increased support for teaching of sciences subjects. This is the first time in the country. Education has become free. You have also heavily invested in infrastructure projects. Now, when I'm coming from Entebbe, it takes me only 20 minutes to reach here. And that is very, very good. Can we clap for His Excellency, the President? In fact, when I was coming here, I talked to my father. My father is your good friend. He retired. He's a disabled man, but he's saying, he told me to tell you that in Tororo, especially Padola, where he comes from, he has never seen tarmac road. And you have been promising, even when you came to Moafu, you said that road, this one will cross from Busoga to go up to Tororo. That one from Busolwe, Nagongera, it will go up to Mbale, Buesa. So he has sent me, he says before he dies, he wants to see tarmac road in your hands because you are friends. I don't know where you met. But he told me those days when you used to go to Kenya, he used to see you as a, I think my mother was was a supporter of Tanzanians. I think that's where you met. And he has sent me with that strong message. I know he's now listening. Your Excellency, the last one is the labor officers. I want to commend Minister of Labor, Gender and Social Development because they have now recruited labor officers, I think to the tune of 150. So they are almost covering the whole districts. But we need to empower them because there are so many mushrooming factories, investors are coming in, we need to check those places and guide them. But they are not empowered in a way that these people are supposed to be reporting to Minister of Local Government. And yet these are labor officers. Sometimes when they are deployed there, they are given another assignment. And they are under cows. The cows are the employers who are their bosses, which actually contradicts what they, so the issue is structure. So I'm requesting, this one I should not request, Your Excellency. I demand that let the labor officers returned to the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. They report there so that it is easy for them to be empowered, and then they do work together. Your Excellency, we have also, as NOTU, signed MOU with the externalization of labor, that is the UWERA, and we are trying to work together with the help of International Labour Organization to monitor our workers who go to work in Arab countries and other countries. And we are going to have a system in NOTU where we are going to start monitoring. When you are living here, we know where you are going to work, which place you are going to work in. We also use our counterparts in those countries to monitor, so that, because these jobs are bringing a lot of money, and it has created jobs for our young people. But we want to modify it so that our people who go there will be safe. Without that, Your Excellency, it can be a very, very big problem. Your Excellency, Ministry of Gender is a very good ministry, but they have a heavy load. They have the elderly, the women, the youths, the children, workers, people with the disability, culture. All these are very important organizations. But the budget which they are given to them, sometimes when I see it, I even cry. And this is a very important institution. So my request, before we demand for our own ministry, because that is the direction we are taking, we request that you improve the budgeting. Since the speaker is here, let me not bother you, Your Excellency. This is the role of the speaker. Honorable Speaker, Ministry of Gender needs more money. If you want, we can come and explain to you. Last, Your Excellency, in every district of Uganda, Your Excellency, now we have workers representing, we have councillors representing workers. And I want to thank you so much for signing that act when it came to you. This was some time back. Now we have every district of Uganda is represented by a female and a male councillor. But these people, first of all, they lack capacity. And when you talk to everybody, there is nowhere they fall. Even their remuneration, I understand now they are getting, per sitting, they are getting 175, which may not be adequate. But what I'm requesting, Your Excellency, you give them, we recognize them, train them, and then we improve, because they can help us in identifying, and these are your allies. You know, you are an ally of workers, and I'm very proud of that. So, Your Excellency, I want to thank you. Lastly, I want just to thank you for trying to streamline Department of Criminal Investigation. You know, the other time I heard you complaining about bails and so on, but people had forgotten that CID department had a serious problem. The cadre you have appointed by the name of Magambo is doing wonders there. And I want to thank you for identifying such cadres to do a good work. Because recently we had a case where a worker was murdered in a boardroom, and people were playing around. But when he get into this matter, he identified the killers. The issue is now being followed very well in courts of law and others. And we just need to streamline the system so that things work very well. I want to thank you, Your Excellency. I have a lot. Even the Mwasa gave me their message, but that one we shall discuss it when we meet. May God bless you for God and my country. Your Excellency, may I request the members of Parliament representing workers to stand for recognition. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much, Brother Owere Wilson, together with your colleague, Okecho, for giving the workers voice. Your Excellency, that was the voice from the workers, and as we all know, when COVID-19 came, the workers suffered most. Some of them lost their jobs, others were put on half pay, others were given short leave until the situation normalizes. Now, amidst that, we had our employers. And the employers, I want to thank some of them who really exhibited a good heart by supporting the workers and by making sure the workers don't suffer. We want to thank you very much for that good heart. This was not done out of moon. They have a federation that brings them together. And on a day like this, we are looking at three partners, main partners. We are looking at government as government and at the same time as the employer. But also, we are looking at the employers who are not necessarily government. And then we have the workers. You heard the song from Winterland. These learners said it all. And all that is the work of the teacher. And I want to believe that whoever is here has at one time gone through the hands of the teacher. Why don't you put your hands together and thank the teacher who made you what you are? Your Excellency, allow me now to invite the employer's side, and this is none other than Engineer Dr. Silva Mujisha, who is the chairperson of Federation of Ugandan Employers, to come and deliver the message. Thank you very much, the employers, for being there for the workers. For those who did it, thank you very much. For those who mistreated workers during the most troublesome time, may God continue to help you to understand what you should do in such times. You are welcome, Doctor.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, who is also the chief employer, by the way, Your Excellency, the Vice President of Uganda, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, His Lordship, the Chief Justice, the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honorable Prime Minister of Uganda, the Right Honorable First Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers, Members of Parliament, Your Excellencies, the Ambassadors and High Commissioners, religious leaders, leaders of labor unions and employers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, the theme of today's Labor Day celebrations here in Uganda is mitigating the impact of COVID-19, enhancing productive employment for improved livelihoods through the parish development model. I would like to expound on this theme today, but before I do that, Your Excellency, on behalf of the Federation, I would like to appreciate the government of Uganda under your able leadership, Your Excellency, for setting the right priorities for enhancing socio-economic transformation of Uganda. These priorities include, inter alia, supporting and promoting economic sectors of agriculture, industrial growth, services, infrastructure, and ICT. Indeed, the journey to put these priorities into action is mainstreamed very well in the National Development Plan 3. Coming back to the theme of today, Your Excellency, allow me to put a few notes on behalf of the Federation of Uganda Employers on some key words, especially in the theme. On the parish development model, this is a great strategy that will see more Ugandans enabled to create jobs and hence improved household incomes. The conceptual design of the parish development model is fit for purpose, and we hope its implementation will effectively be managed by different implementing parties. Particularly, we hope the mindset of Ugandans will be well aligned to understand the essence of enterprise selection and the underlying value chain to correctly apply the parish development model resources. On the side of the Federation, Your Excellency, we shall continue to advocate and amplify the good and potential gains that are inherent in the parish development model. On enhancing productive employment, we have three viewpoints deriving from what is happening here in Uganda and in the world. The first issue, Your Excellency, is the rising commodity prices. This issue is largely being influenced by external factors. We all see what is happening in the whole world, and therefore this seems to be a global problem. The current debate has tended to be skewed towards what people think government should have done in the past. As the Federation of Uganda Employers, we believe more in looking at what has been achieved so far and what the strengths and opportunities that the national economy presents can be used to solve today's and future problems. But it is also possible, Your Excellency, that some employers can want to take advantage of emerging economic hardships to exploit customers that are actually the lifeblood of their existence. We request government to watch, analyze, and regulate such a predatory behavior. We also know, based on the capacity of the country's economy, that there are economic instruments that can be used to moderate emerging economic hardships like the rising economic commodity prices. But That depends on the socio-economic capacity of the country and where it has come from. We request government to continuously appraise its citizens on what it is doing about these issues, especially the rising commodity prices. On the issue of the welfare of employees, and I know Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Gender, will talk more about this because we discussed it. The workers have consistently raised the issue of the minimum wage, like my colleague Owere was saying, and fair treatment at workplaces. The Federation of Ugandan Employers is committed to continuous engagement and advocating for a comprehensive win-win employee welfare solution that promotes labor productivity and employment sustainability. Your Excellency, we can talk about minimum wage, but as we talk about it, we need to also look at productivity and also how employment can be sustained. We don't want something to be done on one side and kill something on the other side. Your Excellency, on skilling Ugandan labor, the Federation of Ugandan Employers, through its representation on the various platforms of Ministry of Education and Sports, has noted efforts the Ministry of Education and Sports is taking to do the following. First of all, is to enhance informal sector-oriented skilling programs, which will enhance employment creation possibilities in the informal sector. As the Federation, we see the informal sector as a great opportunity to enhance our membership and also to enhance the economy of the country. 2, increasing opportunities for industrial training of technical and vocational education students by including appropriate provisions in the ongoing TVET legislative process. Your Excellency, the industries normally complain about students that are half-baked, but there is a problem because they don't have space, or sometimes it is discretionary to offer space for capacitating or training people. We think in the ongoing TVET legislative process, there are going to be provisions to mandate industries to allow people to train from there so that Ugandans can be sharpened in practical skills. Your Excellency, the Ministry is also talking about introducing universal TVET education in Uganda. Just like we have universal primary education, universal secondary education, we think it is now time to also introduce universal technical vocational education training in Uganda. Then lastly, the issue of establishing a TVET university in Uganda. One of the disincentives of people going for practical training is because they think their progression is limited. So if we have a TVET university, it would be an incentive and it will encourage people to also take this route of their career growth. The Federation would like to add its voice in support of the good work the Ministry of Education is doing to enhance the labor skilling sector of the economy, and also ask government to fast-track full realization of the milestones above. Your Excellency, on the issue of the Presidential CEO Forum, we want to thank you, Your Excellency, for enabling the establishment of the Presidential CEO Forum and Secretariat. The CEO Forum provides a great opportunity for continuous engagement on business achievements and what needs to be done to incentivize enhanced business environment for sustainable employment creation. We request you, Your Excellency, to keep the doors open for regular interaction with these members of the CEO Forum as a way of dealing with emerging issues and business opportunities. We want to thank you, Your Excellency, and the different arms of government for unwavering support for the government employer-employee tripartite. Lastly, Your Excellency, as a word of thanks, I want to thank or pay special appreciation to Her Excellency Susan Namundo Ngoji, UN Resident Coordinator for championing youth employment through the UN Cooperation Framework. She's here, she can stand up for recognition. Thank you very much. Would also want to thank ILO, International Labour Organization, for their support towards the Federation's initiatives for decent employment. Your Excellency, I would also want to thank members of the Governing Council of the Federation for working very hard, and those who are here, please stand up for recognition. Those who are here. Thank you very much. Lastly, Your Excellency, unfortunately, the workers tend to have a louder voice than employers. They have raised the issue of their home. We also have a home, Your Excellency, but which is not complete, and we've been fundraising. We'd also like your goodwill to be extended to the Federation and also help us on that house, so that we can also ably represent the country on the side of employers. Even if we got like 500 million, it will be a big push for us to do our work. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, and God bless you.
Can we put our hands together in a rather strong way for the employer, because they are the reasons the workers can smile. Your Excellency, time has come for the Assistant Directors of Ceremonies to hand over to today's Director of Ceremonies, Honorable Colonel Charles Patrick Okero Engola Macho Dog. And as he comes, Your Excellency, permit me to share the wise words of General Colin Powell. We know him, that big man in America, who stated that there is no secret to success. It's a result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. We cannot be sure that we have learned enough that the parish development model is a must to succeed. And that's why we are very excited that today's theme had its pillar in the parish development model, which all Ugandans must embrace to liberate the 30 Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Your Lordship, the Chief Justice, the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Your Lordship, the Deputy Chief Justice, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Deputy Prime Ministers, Cabinet Ministers, my colleagues, State Ministers, Your Excellencies, the Ambassadors and High Commissioners, Members of Parliament, the workers and the employers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Your Excellency, I'm Colonel Kelly Ngola Machudwogo, the Minister of State for Gender, Labor and Social Development, in charge of labor, employment, and industrial relations. Your Excellency, it gives me great pleasure to welcome Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, to the national celebrations of the International Labour Day. Your Excellency, let me also take this opportunity to welcome all the distinguished guests for the Labour Day celebrations. Your Excellency, we have the following guests already here with us. Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda is here with us. The Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, my Lordship, the Chief Justice, the Right Honourable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the Lordship, the Deputy Chief Justice, former leaders, the Right Honourable Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Deputy Prime Ministers, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Their Excellencies, Ambassadors and High Commissioners. We have members of Parliament here. Members of Parliament, can you stand up for recognition? We have the Commander of the Defense Forces who have come here with a strong delegation from UPDF. We have heads of ministries, agencies, and departments, statutory commissions here present with us. We have the Deputy IGG. We have the Deputy IGP. We have the Deputy Commissioner of Prisons. We have traditional leaders with here. We have religious leaders, permanent secretaries, and the workers and the employers' representatives. Your Excellency, the theme for today's celebration is mitigating the impact of COVID-19 and enhancing productive employment for improved livelihoods through parish development model. The choice of this theme is strategic in mobilizing stakeholders to appreciate the relevance of the parish development model in enhancing productive employment as the country pursues its COVID-19 recovery efforts. I request the mobilizers to get a video of these young children who presented a very wonderful song here, so that when they are going for mobilization of PDM, they can use it. It is very good, it's well presented. My assistants have already explained the synopsis of the Labour Day celebrations. I now have Your Excellency, as I prepare to hand over to the Honourable Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, allow me to thank the Assistant Masters of Ceremonies for the job well done. I therefore take this opportunity to invite the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development to take over the next programs for the day. Thank you very much, my boss. You're welcome.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Your Lordship, the Chief Justice, all dignitaries, protocols observed, my colleagues, members of Parliament, ministers, workers, employers, distinguished guests. It gives me great pleasure, Your Excellency, to welcome you and all distinguished guests to the national celebrations of the International Labor Day. Your Excellency, Labor Day is about recognizing the struggle of workers and affirming the rights of workers. Rights like decent work for decent income, workers' welfare at work, ensuring that at workplace, occupational safety and health at work is guaranteed, legal framework that protects the rights of workers and its enforcement, mechanism and measures to stimulate employment in key sectors, setting standards on issues affecting workers, including migrant workers, and Your Excellency, like you've always guided, that issues of migrant workers should be a temporary short-term measures for issues of unemployment. Today, we commemorate this day under the theme, mitigating the impact of COVID-19, enhancing productive employment for improved livelihoods through parish development model. Our being here, therefore, Your Excellency, is a testament that the government of Uganda recognizes the aspirations of workers, their struggles, and the resolve to treat workers with humane dignity. Uganda, in the last couple of decades, has made strides in this direction. For example, Uganda has established one of the best legal framework to protect the rights of workers. Your Excellency, I start with Article 40 of our Constitution, which guarantees workers the right to associate. And with this, we have so far facilitated the registration of 47 workers' unions. And the workers' unions are helping government to undertake settlement of disputes, facilitating collective bargaining, communicating challenges of workers to employers and the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, and engaging in social dialogue with stakeholders. And that's why we are able to have them speak here, because under this article and the law, they are supposed to be registered. Your Excellency, the representative of workers talked about the laws and which laws are there. The Employment Act of 2006, in addition, secures workers' rights, including the right to be issued with appointment letters and contract of service, freedom of association, workers' compensation for injury and stroke or death, decent working condition and facilities at workplace, protection from arbitrary dismissal, provision of personal protective equipment at workplaces, payment of wages on time, provision of annual leave, maternity leave, weekly rest, and rest on public holidays. And most of these issues have been raised on the floor of Parliament by members of Parliament in respect to their oversight function. In this regard, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development has scaled up inspections and engagements with the employers with the view of engaging on how we protect these rights. We are proceeding and continuing with engagements, and these engagements, as the representative of employers have indicated, will facilitate more respect of these rights. Today's theme, therefore, underpins how we mitigate COVID-19 in the world of work. And I want to applaud His Excellency the President for the response and policies that he undertook during COVID-19, which continues to support workers. First, prioritizing the budget measures for improving remuneration of workers, including pay rise for entire public service, but with more incentive to our scientists as a pivot towards a knowledge-based and science-driven economy to fight the scourge of unemployment. And we have seen recently where His Excellency the President has written a letter to Ministry of Health to retain all the health workers who worked during COVID-19 in the employment of public service. I think we need to congratulate His Excellency for that. Number two, financing of massive vaccination campaign that has enabled the economy to open up and work to resume. This is a policy that was championed by His Excellency the President in the containment of COVID-19. Providing cash transfer of 100,000, popularly known as Nabanja cash, to households who had lost their source of income in the informal sector. Intervening with measures which allowed commercial banks to restructure loans for businesses, enabling workers to retain their jobs. Providing stimulus packages to the art and creative industry, manufacturers, industrialists, small and medium enterprises through Uganda Development Bank, SMEs, PPEs with the commercial banks, that is lending at a low rate to businesses to recuperate, and microfinance support center. Assenting to the NSSF Amendment Act to provide for midterm access. This has helped many workers who were under distress due to COVID-19 containment measures. Your Excellency, as of 24th April, NSSF had given out 368.4 billion to 17,827 workers under the law that you assented to. We want to thank you, Your Excellency, for this. Your Excellency, today's theme, which is mitigating the impact of COVID-19, enhancing productive employment for improved livelihood through parish development model, therefore resonates well with the policies that you have put in place to contain COVID-19 and restore the working class back into the work economy. Therefore, on behalf of the entire sector, workers, employers, and on my own behalf, I would like to thank you, Your Excellency, for your courageous and visionary leaders at the peak of COVID-19 pandemic. Your foresight saved this country from a catastrophe. Your strategic leadership during this crisis was unprecedented, highly appreciated not only in Uganda but globally. This is exemplified by the award given to you recently by the British Medical Journal and the National Health Services Health Education Program for extraordinary leadership in the pandemic management, issued for you and given, awarded to you in Britain. I congratulate you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the workers talked about the issue of the midterm access, the law that did not underpin the principle that was envisaged, where the word contribute was, according to the workers, the word should have been saved, where someone who has saved who is 45 years and saved for a period of 10 years, but instead of that word, it was put contributed. And therefore, the law had to be followed. But when they raised this matter, we have met with the Attorney General, and we have agreed on the way forward, and the Attorney General has drafted a new bill just to replace that particular word contributed with the word saved, to allow the workers. And that particular bill has already been processed and is going now to the Cabinet Secretariat for fast tracking and bringing it to Parliament. So I want to assure the workers to be calm and that this matter will be resolved soon. On the context of the parish development model, Your Excellency, we have embarked as a ministry that is in charge of mobilization. We have embarked on the mobilization, and beginning next week, Thursday, we are starting the sensitization at local government up to sub-county level to scale up the implementation, the mobilization, and the sensitization. Therefore, Your Excellency, I want to assure you that within the next 3 months, we would have executed up to sub-county level the mobilization to facilitate enterprise formation and facilitate Ministry of Trade to form all the circle that is required. On the side of labor issues, Your Excellency, you assented to the Labor Dispute Arbitration and Settlement Act 2021. We have started its implementation. This particular law has increased the number of judges at the industrial court from 2 to 5, and the judges can now hear cases independent of each other, and therefore it will facilitate expeditious resolution of dispute, and it is good, prudent dispute resolution mechanism to strengthen industrial court. And I want to thank you for assenting to that act. The ministry is also focusing on informal structure of Juakali and informal sectors of workers, where under our program called the Green Jobs, Your Excellency, we are undertaking skilling and giving startup kits for people in the Juakali areas and workers, and this program will now be constituency-based. We are also scaling up a program called apprenticeship. An apprenticeship program, Your Excellency, is where graduates, fresh graduates, are given jobs in ministries, departments, and they're facilitated with the transport for them to gain skills, so that in the next 1 or 2 years, when they're applying for a full-time job, they are then able to quote that experience. I want to thank UNDP for the piloting and supporting piloting of this program, and the lesson we have learned from this piloting of this program will support us to scale it more. On the issue of external recruitment of migrant workers, there has been outcry, Your Excellency, out there, and we have diagnosed the problem. We will bring a paper to Cabinet again, but we have so far increased the sentence for illegal recruitment activities from 3 years to 5 years. And I'm glad that the Organization of Uganda External Recruitment Workers, are here, and they are the ones who regulate. I want them to stand up. They are in that tent. The UWERA members, they are there, Your Excellency, and we are working closely with them to make sure that we make this sector a sector that will not cause problems to Ugandans. We have also increased what we call registration fee or licensing fee. Originally, if you want a company, you would pay a bond, a bank bond of 50 million. We have raised it to 100 million. This one is a guarantee in the bank, so that in case you take a worker out of the country and you are not able to bring the person, the ministry will then get that money from the bank to bring back the person back to the country, because most of the issues arises before the person finishes the contract abroad and we are not able to bring the person back. So now we have increased the bond and bank guarantee to 100 million. We have also told them to stop, and Your Excellency, this was a very strong message from you, charging of workers going abroad, where people are selling land, people are selling all sorts of things to facilitate them to go abroad. We have indicated to them only where they are semi-skilled and skilled, and it is a requirement from the country's placing that we sit together and agree on a fair price. And this one we are linking with them. We have also prohibited non-citizens from operating a recruitment agency. So we are not registering anybody who is a foreigner to manage or operate a migrant or a company that takes migrant workers abroad. We have also developed what we are calling External Employment Management Information System, which is an online system that captures the data of all migrant workers leaving Uganda and traveling abroad. And very soon we are going to institute a 24-hour help desk under this EMIS system, so that we are able to rescue our people. We have also developed Occupational Health and Safety Management Information System, which will provide online collection of information about workplaces in the country, and one will be able to see all the details of those who are employers in different locations, the type of industry, and the workers employed in that area. Your Excellency, I want to conclude, therefore, by restating that today we remind ourselves that we celebrate extraordinary sacrifice made and still being made by people in the world of work to promote the values of social justice, fundamental rights at work, and dignity for all. We at national level acknowledge the devotion and contributions of the workers who ensure the prosperity, strength, and well-being of our country. And at this juncture, I want to thank the men and women standing here who makes us sleep every day. And while we are here, they are standing the whole day for us and the country. Therefore, today calls upon us to recommit to the resolve to eliminate any lingering threats by COVID-19. And I cannot end without taking this opportunity to, in a very special way, applaud the frontliners who gave their best during that difficult times. And Your Excellency, I want to start with you, because we saw how at the onset of COVID, you stressed yourself, and we were always there and saw how you committed yourself as the #1 worker. Your Excellency, I thank you very much. I want to thank our doctors, the nurses, those who ensured that they enforced SOPs, they treated the sick, evacuated the ill, those who conducted research, vaccinated the population at risk, and provided hope and allowed us to open. I want to thank them, and some of them today are getting gold medal for those work that they did. Your Excellency, we recognize that consciousness of that moment you gave and they gave work beyond the call of duty that helped our country. I want to thank you, Your Excellency, and I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, I do not know whether I have concluded with my speech, but in the program, the Right Honorable First Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister in charge of trade has some small activity. And I want to request the Right Honorable Deputy Prime Minister to probably make her way. This is the launch of the master plan for the construction of Mutukula Regional Market, a market that is supposed to support many workers and cross-border trade. Your Excellency, that activity is meant for you to sign on as a launch, but the Right Honorable First Deputy Prime Minister wants to just say a word about what it is.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Uganda, let me stand on existing protocol since the Minister has stated it. I'm here to introduce very briefly the Mutukula Regional Market Project. This is a unique hub, a private sector driven project worth over $700 million. It is expected to take 2 years to construct, and even before it is constructed, to provide employment for laborers, engineers, artisans, consultants, and not to forget the catering services that the women will be able to provide for the staff. Your Excellency, this is a project coordinated by 4 ministries. My Ministry of East African Community, because of the treaty, the Mother Ministry of Trade, because of their work in the COMESA and the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, the Minister of Employment, who is hosting us, and the Minister of Defense for local support in Greater Masaka. Your Excellency, the project will have 18,000 shops, 1,000 warehouses, 100 market sheds, 1 5-star hotel, a hospital, 60 silos, 6 petrol stations, commercial building, parking yards, packaging and cold facilities, and an airstrip. It will be a one-stop center for goods and services produced in the region. Needless to say, utilities like electricity, water, roads will be provided. Your Excellency, on 13th April 2022, I, together with the Minister of Defense, Minister of State for Trade, went to break ground at Mutukula. And we want to thank you very, very much for accepting to give the project the 200 acres. The request was for 600, but I think let us start with that little as we move along. It will be a design, build, and operate project. Your Excellency, this project will immediately serve the regions of northern Tanzania, of Kagera, of Mwanza, of Shinyanga, and then the greater Comesa and Africa Continental Free Trade Area. I would like to introduce Mr. Karim Karamaji. I don't know where he is. The Chief Executive Officer of Mutukula Regional Market, who is a Ugandan, who's, is he there? Karamaji, where are you? Waniko mkono. I also want to introduce Mr. Shiyong and Bahati Chando of Sinohydro Corporation. Are they there? Yes, Sinohydro, the ones who constructed Karuma, they are the ones constructing that project. Mr. Brink of PCC, is Mr. Brink there? Is Mr. Brink there? Okay, Your Excellency, those are the people putting together both the funding and the construction. Already, Your Excellency, over $100 million has been released to kickstart the project. It's therefore my pleasure to request Your Excellency to commission the architectural design so that the work can begin. Your Excellency, as I indicated, we have worked together as 4 ministries, but after today, Right Honorable Prime Minister will take charge of the oversight and supervision because this is on government land. Your Excellency, I want to invite you to sign the master plan so that our people can get employment and to assure the minister that she will now continue her speech. I'll finish. Thank you.
Your Excellency, from signing, you are now invited to address the nation. Thank you.
Her Excellency the Vice President, the Right Honorable Speaker, His Lordship Chief Justice, Deputy Speaker, Deputy CJ, Prime Minister, and all the dignitaries who are here today, and the Ugandans who are listening. Some clever Wanyankore named their child Otafuire. Meaning that if you don't die, you will see good things with time. So when I heard that Mr. Owere's group and Dr. Amongi, the minister, had made parish development model the main theme of today, I said, Apoyo Rubanga, Katonda yebazibwe for giving me a long life so that I can see that people are beginning to wake up. What is in the parish development model is what we started doing in the Ankole zone in the 1960s. I've told you many times how we had differences of opinion. How we had differences of opinion with the elite. You know, people who should be leading others. The politicians, the church leaders, the cultural leaders, that time they were also there. But they didn't know how to get their people out of underdevelopment. But we, our group, as students, we said no. For them, they thought that it was in order for a few people to be rich and the majority of the people remained backward. We didn't accept this. We said no, if all of them are sensitized, they can wake up and know what to do. Although we were interfered with by Idi Amin and the other groups, eventually when we gained the upper hand, 1986, we built on the work we had already started. And really the parish development model has 4 elements. And it starts with the people of land, who have got land. It starts with agriculture. Because fortunately Uganda has got all these 40 million acres of good arable land. Now the task in that area of Ankole, there we had an additional problem. We had the problem of nomadism. People were also nomadic. So we had to settle that issue to expose to them the mistake of nomadism. But after nomadism, and many of the other people in Uganda were not nomadic, but they were not using their land to get out of poverty. Then the second element was what we keep talking about from Chibuku, from the Bagwere, or Korra Echida Chonka, only working for the stomach. That is the second element. Where nomadism is there, stop nomadism. Secondly, if you have got land, agricultural land, don't only work for the stomach, for eating only. Teach me each keken, as they say in Luo. Also work for the pocket, food security and income. Work for the stomach, but also for the pocket. But number 3, do so with a chivaro. A chivaro, chura, as they say in Luo, or Aymar in Ateso. And then, number 4, the government should then help you once you are clear about the other 3. But number 5, once you wake up and start earning money, then there's the problem of backward inheritance practices, where when the head of the family dies, the children destroy the property with physical division instead of dividing what comes from the land and not the land itself. Today I was reading the papers, and I saw the son of our late comrade, President Mike Baki. I don't know whether you read it, it was in the papers, who was giving a speech in Nairobi the other day, and pointed out, I was so happy to see that person speaking the way he was speaking, and he was saying, the property of Mzee Kibaki is not ours, it is his, and we are trustees, we the children, not to destroy what Kibaki built. I was so happy to hear an African speaking like that. It's really a shame when you see all these groups. You look at the Europeans, a man like Henry Ford died long ago, even before Mzee Kaguta was born. But the wealth he left is now bigger, much bigger than what he left. But Africans here are like ants. Enkuyege. Akatono mugenzi kalese. Bakari ne bakamarawo. Shameful, disgusting. So these are the 5 points of the parish development model. So we have been talking about this all these years. But people are busy with other things. The radios, the what, the cultural leaders, the priests, everybody is an authority. People are diverted. They don't concentrate on the message. But we have been keeping talking. We tried NADS. It did some little work. But with the NADS, you end up again with the local elite. People are a bit banasomako. National Corps. They are the ones who benefit from all these programs we send, like NADS. Then we brought Operation Wealth Creation. But National Corps, CJ the other day coached me that in law they are called Jomukwano. The one who are a little bit educated. But we don't want only Jomukwano, we want everybody. I think you know we say Duchu. We say Duchu? We want everybody to be involved, getting out of poverty. So when Operation Wealth Creation went, they did something, but that's why the percentage you hear, I am glad even the people of the prisons like Baine are beginning to talk economics. Because I heard him talking some economics. Not only arresting people and keeping them there, but also some economics. That's why you hear that abakorachida kyonka teach me each keken. The percentage has dropped from 68% in 2013 when Operation Wealth Creation started to now 39%. That means that Operation Wealth Creation did some work, but there is still a lot of work to do. The 39% are very many. And the work done by Operation Wealth Creation has resulted in a huge increase in the production of, for instance, coffee. Coffee has gone from 2 million bags to now 8 million bags, Uganda. And the earnings have gone from 400 million something to now almost 800 million. $800 million. And that is that work done by Operation Wealth Creation. The same for maize, production of maize. Production has gone up. But we still have the 39%. Therefore, the parish development model has a different, in all these other efforts, first of all, before our time, no government was giving money to the people to get out of poverty. Getting out of poverty was everybody's private business. You had to you had to look after yourself. Government was bringing peace. If you wanted to get out of poverty, that was your issue. Except sometimes if they wanted cotton or coffee, they could come and beat you and make you produce for the system, but not for yourself, to get out of poverty. And they wouldn't give you money to do that. They would simply make you do. But we have been, since from the time of Ntandikwa, we have been giving you money. This is like, must have started during the time of Ksama Mgerwa, when Ksama Mgerwa was Minister of State for Finance. We started giving you Ntandikwa, then prosperity for all, the money from the government. But all this time, the responsibility is taken by the government officials. They are the ones who select who is to get money or planting materials or breeding stock. abakungu ba gavumenti be basalawo ani anaafuna ate ebyokukozesa binaavaawa. The government officials were the ones deciding who is to be allocated and where would these materials be bought from and at what price. So that's what caused some confusion. Even with Operation Wealth Creation, I started hearing wananchi saying begabira boka, meaning these officers of ours whom we had sent had also become localized. They were giving to their friends, to themselves. Some of them even, I hear, started getting involved in having seed beds. They are the ones who sell their own plant. You are not supposed to be the producer. You are supposed to be to take what the government has got from. So they got compromised, diverted, in spite of their good work. That's why, therefore, this time, the approach is, number one, want everybody to get involved in working for the stomach and for the pocket. Number two, but to do so with the chibaro, with the chibaro chura, which means you select among the enterprises that we have already identified that can make good money, even if you do them on a smaller scale. We have the activity, there are like 7 of them: coffee, fruits, small zero grazing, dairy farming, food crop, poultry for eggs, piggery, fish farming. Now some people are adding some other things like macadamia and avocado, but for me these last two I have not yet calculated them, although I'm told that they are very good, but we shall calculate them and then speak firmly to you. But the 7, we are sure about the 7. Now, this is for intensive farming. There are other crops which the country needs, like cotton, like sugarcane, like ranching. Me, I am a rancher. I have indigenous cows, like tobacco, even maize, even tea. These are crops which can only make money, or activities which can only make money if you do them on a big scale. So those ones should be done not by these people who have got 4 acres or less, but by we, the big farmers, like myself. I can do for you all those things you want. If you want cotton, I can grow it for you. So, with the chivaro, with the chura, and then the other points, like once you start getting money and the head of the family goes, please don't fragment the land. It's not legal. We shall not put you to prison, but we are counseling you. We are educating the families to understand that. So once you know that, in each parish, want everybody who has got some land or can rent land or can prove that he can use the land of the relative to join the parish development circle. You join the circle. And here, there's also some confusion of demanding money. Don't join unless you have paid money. No, leave them. Even if they haven't paid money, let them join. As long as they prove to you that they have got to the circle now, that they have got where they can do agriculture, small scale commercial agriculture, let them join. Once they form this circle and they agree to select from the 7 activities, for the other ones, I think we should have a separate program. For the other cotton and so on and so forth, I think we should have a separate program. I think the ministry should clarify this. For the big farmers, the ones for our type, we should have something separate. In fact, it's already there, because if I want to do the other big thing, the other low price activities like cotton, I can go to UDB and borrow money at concessional rate and do it. Or we shall develop some other mechanisms for us. But this time, want to concentrate on the other people, the ones of the 4 acres or less, so that we don't overstretch ourselves. Now, so the money, this financial year, we are sending 17 million shillings to each parish. But in the next budget, we want to send 100 million to each parish. The budget coming in July. And the money will be sent to the circle. So it will be the circle government, the circle leadership, elected by them, not by the other parish development committee. The one of the chief of the parish chief and so are not the ones who are going to get this money. Those are just supervisors. But the money will go to the stakeholders themselves, to the Barimi Balunzi, Abomulkogo, the farmers who are members of the circle. It will go to their account. They are the ones to decide who should get first. And where will they buy the materials from? So this bureaucracy of NADS, the one of Mugasha, is out now. I don't know what they will do. Maybe they will do some consultancy or some what. So the who to get and the where to buy will be done by the government of the circle, elected by the people themselves, by the circle members themselves. Not even the parish development model, because I don't want them to be involved. Let them just supervise. So that is when we talk of the parish development model, that's what we are talking about. And when we do that, because there are people who have already listened to our message, this message of 60 years, I have been involved in this for the last 60 years. And in some areas we have succeeded. Like in the cultural corridor, people are quite rich now, because they listen to our message, although they still have other things to do. But even with the semi transformation, they are very rich. And in some other areas like Ruengaju, near Fort Portal, people have woken up. and got this message. And this is where the issue of Owere comes now, and his group. Workers, workers, workers. How many are you? Owere, come and tell us how many you are. How many members do you have? Come and tell us on the microphone there. Workers, trade union, how many are you?
Your Excellency, in trade union we have 1.5 million.
Now you hear?
And the potential workers are 12 million.
Don't say potential, the ones you have now.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Now you hear these workers, 1.5 million. And that includes the other group of Baguma. You heard the other man, Baguma? The one who was speaking there. No, don't worry, Owere, you go and sit. Beping. That Baguma man is a teacher. So those are government workers. So this 1.5 million includes government workers who are like, I think they are like 0.5 now. So that means and there's also another confusion. I heard Baguma calling me a chief worker. Now, there we need to, I don't know what Todwong is doing. Political education has also gone down. You are talking as if you are somewhere else in other parts of Africa. I'm not a worker myself, I'm not a worker, I am a bourgeoisie. I am part of the middle class. You cannot call the middle class workers. Just they take the literal meaning, the one who works is a worker. No, that's not an ideological definition. Of course I work, but I'm not a worker. I work as a member of the middle class. And the middle class has got categories. You have got the bureaucratic bourgeoisie, like these civil servants. Civil servants are bureaucratic bourgeoisie. The teachers like Baguma, those are petty bourgeoisie. That's what we call them. Now, groups like Casita, do you know something called Casita? Those who specialize in imports. Those are comprador bourgeoisie, agents of foreign interests, whose job is to sell other people's goods here. They are called comprador. Comprador is a French word meaning agent. They are agent bourgeoisie. Now, the positive bourgeoisie, the ones who would like to promote, are people like Mulwana, the ones who were, even myself, you can add me in that group. Are the ones we call the national bourgeoisie. The national bourgeoisie, the ones who build up the economic strength of the country. Mao Zedong was very clear on this. That's how China came up. He was able to identify the positive bourgeoisie and the negative ones, like the comprador bourgeoisie. Those are negative group. Just importing. Now you see the retro war we are having with the coffee issue. That coffee issue is very, very interesting. And I'm very glad people have put in writing their views. I'm very, Mbamaze, you put something in writing down, you are finished. If it is wrong, you cannot take it back. They are attacking the coffee deal, that the coffee deal is bad. What? Oh, thank you very much. We are now going to study you. You have put it in writing. It's in black and white. And that is a struggle between the comprador bourgeoisie, the agents of foreign interests, and the national bourgeoisie. So the workers, of course here, the model of workers is not strictly like what was in Europe. In Europe, according to Karl Marx, in 1848, when he wrote his manifesto, he is the worker who has no other asset except his labor. Because in Europe, some of the people were farmers, some were middle class, and the workers had no property. The only thing they had to sell was their labor. But in our case here, you find people, he's a worker in a factory, the proletariat. The people that were calling proletariat workers were the proletariat, not the bagumas. Those are employees, but not workers. You should call yourselves employees of the government, but not workers. Workers are, strictly speaking, the proletariat, the ones working in the factories. But that is something we shall sort out. With the Todwong should be sorting that one out. I don't know what they are doing there. I don't know what they are doing. So the importance of the parish model, parish development model, where, for instance, it has already taken some root, like in Rengaju parish. I sent people there. They went. Nankabero went and they saw. Those families, you find each family is employing 15 people in a small scale commercial agriculture of only 1 acre. 15 people working in that enterprise. Uganda has got 43 million people. If you take an average that there are 5 people in a home, that means we are 9 million families. Let's assume that 5 million of them have land, 1 acre or 2 acres or 3 acres or 4 or more. If each one of these 5 million listens to our message and goes into this small scale commercial farming with the chibaro, with the chura, even if he employs 10 people each, that is 50 million jobs. We shall have so many jobs here that we shall have no people to do them. We'll have more jobs than the population. So that's why I'm very happy. They had prepared a speech to come and read. I said, no, I don't need a written speech. I have my mission in my head. So I will tell you about my mission. So I was very glad. I was very glad to hear that Beta Mongi and Owere and others had in their wisdom, as we say in our way of speaking, made the parish development model the theme of this Labor Day. Thank you very much. Apoyo Mater. If we do this, we shall have so many jobs, we shall have nobody to do them. We shall have to import labor from other countries, as happened in the past. Because these are 50 million jobs. Now, of course, in order for this to work, the government has already put some things in place. There is peace in the country. All these little things that are happening will be sorted out, like this Karamojong, whom I keep hearing. They will be sorted out. Peace is here to stay. Infrastructure, the roads and the railway and the electricity. We have now more electricity than is being consumed, but we have already signed an agreement with a group to do Ayago. That would add another 840 megawatts on the power supply. So, with infrastructure, the investors will come in, the factories will come in. And now, apart from the jobs in the agricultural sector, for me, I think we can create 50 million jobs in the agricultural sector. The other day, I was at Raktura with my daughter, who is my managing director now, and I found 44 workers there in Raktura. And Raktura is not fully used, it is semi-used. So this, we can create, for me, I think we can create a minimum of 50 million jobs through agriculture alone. But if you have got agriculture, you must process what is produced. Otherwise, it will be a problem. And you can